Howdy, and welcome to the Introduction to Mould3r series. In these videos, we'll go over everything you need to get started designing your own molds with Mould3r. To start, download and install Mould3r from our website, mould3r.com. You can also access the source from GitHub and build the program on your own machine. When you open Mould3r for the first time, it'll prompt you to select a fixture. Fixtures are the core of designing in Mould3r. They provide a blank set of mold halves and specify injection points. While we intend to build a wide library to choose from, for now most users will want to build their own, which we will go over in part 2 of the series. For now, let's continue with the demo fixture to show the features and workflow of the software. When a fixture is loaded, the blank halves will be positioned in the design space, centered to the origin. One half or the other will become transparent to let you know what's going on inside your mold as you design. The first thing you're going to want to do is import a model into the design environment. You can import step and mesh format files like STL and OBJ, although we highly recommend step files for their stability. STL and OBJ type files will generally take longer to process and may encounter issues with certain features. Once we hit the Import Model button, a file path will appear, and you just navigate to the file that you want to import into the environment. Once you've got your file imported, you can click and drag it into position on the mold. The align face and mid-plane are useful tools for making sure that your model is placed on the parting plane indicated by the grid. You can see in the demonstration that the align face snaps any selected face directly to the plane. The align midplane allows you to select two planes, and the object will be moved so the parting plane is between the selected faces. A note on all the tools that are included here under Model Tools or Model Alignment. They require a selected model. If you're using a tool and it looks like nothing is happening, it may be because the model you want to transform is not actively selected. When an object is selected, it will have a highlighted outline, like so. Now that our model is placed where we want it, we can begin placing features. These need to create a path for plastic to flow into our mold cavity. The first thing to place is a sprue. This is how plastic enters the mold and must be present on any design. Simply press the Place Sprue button and a purple shape will show up. The easiest designs are simply a sprue going into a mold cavity, and if that's your case, you're basically done now. If we had a direct injection design, it would look something like this. A note, if you're working on a mold template that has multiple possible injection points, the Edit button allows you to choose which of these options the sprue geometry will be generated from. If we want to remove a sprue geometry, we can either use the Remove or Clear All button, although with the Remove button, you need to select the sprue shape to remove it. For more complicated designs or multi-cavity molds, we continue to runners. Runners let plastic flow through the mold, distributing it to different sections. And note, the sprue must have a contact point for runners to be calculated from. If you're trying to place a runner and nothing shows up, make sure there's a dot indicating where the sprue contacts the parting plane. If that's missing, try generating the sprue again. Every feature has Edit, Remove, or Clear All buttons. The Edit tool lets us change their position. Remove can be used to specify just one feature to clear, and Clear All removes all features of a specific type. Gates and subrunners allow us to direct the plastic into the mold cavity. Any mold cavity needs to have a sprue leading directly into it or use a gate. Otherwise, there won't be a reliable path for plastic into the mold cavity. The gate will snap to the perimeter of an object and draw a path to the nearest sprue or runner. Vents allow air to leave the mold cavity so the air doesn't pressurize inside the mold and leave bubbles or cavities. They should be thin enough that plastic cannot escape, but air can. When you place these, they will snap to the perimeter of the object and create the shortest path possible to the exterior of the mold. The pattern tool is powerful at this stage if we want to design a multi-cavity mold. We can input parameters of a pattern and it will create copies of the selected body in that pattern. Features assigned to the model selected will pattern with the object, so you don't have to place the same features over and over. Note, runners are not specific to a body and so must be placed accordingly. Once you have the design set up as you want it, press the Generate Mold button to cut all your objects and features from the blank molds. Thanks for watching. That completes the overview of the preview perspective. In the next video, we'll be covering how to make your own fixtures to make molds for specific setups. Please let us know if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions down below or at our email contact@mould3r.com.